think it all happens in Silicon Valley. You thought wrong.
So Rummble makes it easy to find stuff nearby you like, so physical places. So think of it as a search engine for the physical world. Really anyone who wants to find something nearby that they like. So the core use case is walking out of the door, within 30 seconds finding the next thing that you want to do. So a lot of the location-based services are about what am I doing now? We're all about what do I do next? So my previous company was also in the mobile space, but incredibly early to market. I built something called PlayText, which was Europe's, possibly the world's, I don't know, first mobile location-based social network. And this is back in 2002, 2003. But it was way too early to market. The technology wasn't there. You interfaced via SMS. And I realized in about 2005 that who's nearby would probably become a commodity. And also Google had just bought Dodgeball, Dennis Crowley's previous startup. And so I looked around for another problem to solve, and a passion of mine is mobile and finding cool places when I travel or when I'm at home, and so I picked on that as a problem to solve, because I think that recommendation services are really broken currently. What we do is work out who you trust for different types of content, and that's not just your friends but strangers as well. So we have an algorithm that finds paths of trust between people. So think of it, instead of a social network where friends are connected, think of it as the relationships being trust in someone's taste or not. And as you use the service, as you rumble places and check in, it works out what you like and what you don't like. And then it follows paths of trust to personalize the results. So the big difference between us and other services is that the rating you get is personalized to you. So you might be at a bar and see that it's 8 out of 10, and for me it might be 5 out of 10, or vice versa. Yeah, potentially. I mean, ultimately, technically it's more of a decision engine, and when you make a decision where to go in real life, it's really complicated. Like, it's whether, do I like that sort of place? Is it open? What's the weather like? What's the time of day? How far away is it? So we're trying to take all that information and automate that process so that when you're on a street corner with friends and you're like, where should we go? There's not that big argument, there's not that waiting around and, and going to the wrong place. We can just give you the right answer for you. What Facebook and Twitter do for us is that people will make recommendations on Twitter without it being explicit recommendations. So they might say, hey, I'm in this bar with Jack and they do really good beer. Now at the moment that's kind of lost in the Twitter sphere. What we do is take that data and create a recommendation out of that. And we use natural language processing, we do sentiment analysis, so that if they haven't given an 8 out of 10, we can work out, is this saying something positive or is it saying something negative? So there are lots of ways that people create content which at the moment is lost, and we want to harness that content and make it useful to people. Well, everything we try and build as being scalable. It works globally, and so it's generally automated. So we don't have curators or editorial. Now that means it's challenging because the technology has to be very good, but ultimately, as we get more and more users, that will reap benefits. But our team's small. We're 5 people. We've got 1 intern at the moment, and only 3 of those people are coders. So we've it's fluctuated 1 or 2 people over the last year, but up until a year and a half ago, we were only 3 people. So we've covered a lot of platforms, and now we're in the process of kind of improving the user experience. It is growing worldwide. We've got users in, I think, about 189 countries or something crazy. But the bulk of the users are US, UK, and then sort of major Western European countries. Growth is coming mostly from the US and the UK as well. I think it's really important that we travel over there whenever we can. We have an office address on Pier 38. It's just that there's not always someone in there. But yeah, we'll definitely have a presence permanently before the end of the year. Rumble's free. We don't make money at the moment. We have a number of ways we will make money. I think ultimately, if you look at 5 years' time, when everyone's doing everything on their mobile or from a mobile device, then advertising, or whatever advertising is then called, will be where the biggest source of revenue is. If you understand how a user behaves and what they do, which is what we know about our Rumble users, the one thing we know, because we have to serve personalized content, we must understand what they like. If you understand what they like, you can deliver relevant advertising. No, I mean, yeah, at some point, sure, we'd love to exit, or not, but we're trying to build a fantastic company, and the first thing is to build an amazing product for users. And this is definitely a problem we know needs solving. If you look on any other recommendation service, you find the places nearby, and they're all rated 3.5 out of 5. That's useless to me. Like, I just want to know the 2 or 3 things nearby that I want to do now, and that's what Rumble's trying to solve.
Think it all happens in Silicon Valley? You thought wrong.